Hi there. I am going to show you how to make a challah for the holidays. So you need to first start with a 1/4 cup of warm water. And I always use my handy dandy digital thermometer to tell me the heat, the temperature. And this one says it is 98, 99, 100. So this is around 101 degrees. This is perfect for adding yeast to your water mixture. If you make the water too hot, the yeast will not work. It will not activate correctly. You can kill it. Anyway, and then you add 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. And then you put in about a teaspoon of sugar. And this is the first time I'm actually trying something a little different. I'm going to add a little bit of honey instead and hope that this works. Otherwise, you will never see this tape and I will start all over again. So, let's put about a teaspoon of honey. And I am using the honey that I put in our honey holder for Rosh Hashanah. And maybe I should just stick it in here. It'd be a lot easier. There we go. Stick it into here and go like this and hope that it activates. And by activate, I mean start to bubble. And it can take, I don't know, 5-10 minutes to do so. So let's mix it up here. Let's let it sit a bit and I will get back to you in about 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks. While it was rising over here, the yeast, which actually looks really good right now, I put together all the other ingredients that we're going to need for this. And then for this particular recipe, you just put it all together in a blender of some sort. This is my KitchenAid. And I just put everything together. And then once it becomes all together, then we'll put it in the mixer for a few minutes to let it mix up. The KitchenAid is rather powerful, so it doesn't need terribly long to mix it all together. So there's the yeast mixture. That's a mistake. Anyway, here's 1/3 cup of honey. Thanks for not laughing, Mark. Here are 3 cups of flour. But it wouldn't have been actual or real without me screwing something up. So anyway, and here's 2 eggs. These are cholesterol-free eggs because I prefer to use those. And then we put in a teaspoon. Well, let's do the salt first because I'm going to use the same teaspoon. A teaspoon of salt. I put it in my left hand. Teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of, whoa, I forgot that was open. This is not going like I planned. And a teaspoon of vanilla. I've never put vanilla in challah before, but this recipe calls for it. And then 4 tablespoons of oil. Let's see if I can get it in there without spilling it all over the floor. It's an if, maybe. There's 1. There's 2. This is grapeseed oil. You can use whatever you like. 3, 4. Now I have not used olive oil, which is one of my favorite oils to use, but I don't know how that would taste in here. Maybe someday I will give it a try. Okay, so all the ingredients are in, and then we're just going to bring it over to the mixer and mix it up. So I will meet you at the mixer. Now, once it's connected and in, we just turn it on to low power, and we're going to let it mix up. You want to come take a look at it? We're going to let it mix up for just a few minutes. This is what it looks like now. And we will turn it on and again in a few minutes, and you can see what it's going to look like after it's mixed. So come on over now and take a look after 3 minutes of mixing what it looks like. See how it's formed into a nice piece of dough there. I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to take this down for a second. Let's go like this, take it off the hook. I'm just going to mix it with my hand for a moment, not too much. But I'm going to put the hook back on. I'm going to let it sit for 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to, after it sits for about 10 minutes, I'm going to knead it again with the dough machine. For another couple minutes, and then I will see you after I knead it the second time. And this is the end of the second round of kneading it without my hands. Most of the time I make challah, or often I make challah by kneading it with my hand. This particular recipe calls for either a bread machine or KitchenAid, and I don't have a bread machine because I am the bread machine, so I use KitchenAid. Anyway, so we are done with the kneading and with putting the whole thing together. So now I can take it out, take out the tool, the dough hook. Once the dough hook is out, which comes off really easy, I'll show you the dough again. Just form it into a ball, which is already into mostly a ball because of its kneading in circles, but it's pretty good right now as a ball. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover it with a cloth and let it sit for about an hour. Then I'm going to actually take it out and knead it for just a minute, and then I'm going to put it back and have it sit for another hour. And after that's done, I'm going to refrigerate it because it's nighttime. I don't know if you can see, it's nighttime, and tomorrow morning I'm actually going to make it into challah, maybe challah rolls. I haven't decided what kind yet, or just a round challah or a plain challah, and then I will bake it. So I'm going to finish having it sit out for a while now, and then I will refrigerate it. And here we go. So it has risen twice. Oh, this doesn't look so great. It's fluffed. Oh, here you go. It's fluffed, but it's not fluffed as much as I would like it to, but that's okay, because these things happen. It's still going to be delicious. Okay, so I just I kneaded it in between the two rising times of an hour. So I kneaded it a little bit, and I'm just kind of moving the dough around a little bit, kind of kneading it one-handed. I normally do it two-handed. But anyway, let me fluff it back into a ball, and then I'm going to cover it one more time. And normally I would just cover it and let it sit out again, or what I would actually do is form it and then let it sit out for another hour. But since I'm not doing that tonight, I will do that tomorrow. So I'm going to take some plastic wrap, Saran wrap, cover it with this, and then I will cover it one more time also with, sorry, I have dough all over my fingers. Cover it with this again, and I'm going to put it into the fridge, and then I will see you in the morning. Good morning, and here is the reveal of the dough from last night. I already took it out an hour or two ago, and I'm going to take off the top here just so it would get less cold and easily malleable. So there you go. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on the board, and then I'm going to take out the dough. Actually, normally I just take a little bit at a time, so let's do it the way I normally do it. And I'm going to make a bunch of little strips. I did it again. Amazing. I did it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. What happened was it fell on the side here. So anyway, this is ridiculous. Okay, so I take a little bit of flour, a little bit of dough, and then I start to make the strip. You can do it on, a lot of people do it on their counter. I like to do it on my little mat here that I've had for 20 years, more maybe. I make hamantaschen on this, and we sometimes even use it for gingerbread on this mat. We're making our gingerbread, which will be next month in November. But anyway, you can make your strip any way you like. I usually kind of do it a combination of on the board and in my hands, and then I put them on the side, and we'll put it on pause for a second, and we'll come back when I have a few more strips made. Okay, so now I've laid them all out here. It took me 15-20 minutes, something like that, to get them all rolled out. I just did a little one at the end just for fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few different kinds of shapes, or a few different shapes for you to show you. So I'm going to start with a round one. Let's take these four, and I just learned this one recently thanks to Sinai Temple's demonstration, how to make a round one decently. So you actually start with it in the shape of a tic-tac-toe board like that, over and under, and then you just take the ends and twist them into each other like this. And then I forget exactly what you're supposed to do next, so I keep twisting like this and like this, the ones that are next to each other, the little neighbors there, and then you just pull it around each other until it's basically in the shape of a round challah. Now I normally make this bigger. If I'm going to make a bigger challah, I usually take more dough and make the strands bigger, so it becomes a bigger challah. but this is what it looks like pre-baking. You'll see, because I'm going to let it sit for another hour, it will pop up a little bit, and then, hi Jordan, good morning, we're videoing. Good morning and welcome to our challah. Anyway, you will be a star of the show, you know. You can put it right in the middle. That's so nice of Jordan. Do you think you can move your water cup?
Right,
I've already made so many mistakes in this video, it's gonna be on bloopers.
Right.
Anyway, next challah I'm gonna, thanks Jordan.
Okay.
The next challah I'm gonna make, I'm going to come around. This side here is a 2-strand like this. So I'm just going to braid it over and under itself like this. And then I'm making this for Aunt Bo so she can see how I make challah. And then, okay, so once it's just braided in on itself like that, I just rotate it in circles until it becomes completely in like this. And then you have a really nice little round challah like that too. And I'll put it over here to rise. And then another one I do is with just a single strand, and basically the same thing. It's just going to be around itself in a swirl like this, like a shell. And you'll see when this finishes, when it's finished baking, it's actually going to poof out quite a bit, but it makes a nice challah roll like that. As does this one. This makes a nice little challah roll too. And then the last one will be the traditional 3-strand challah. So I'll put 3 of them together like this, and then you take the ends and pinch. Are you looking at this, Mark? Only look at the challah now. You don't need me in this. So there's pinch the ends together like that, and then I just braid it as a regular kind of braid. You just the outsides come over the inside like that, and then that's just a traditional small challah like this. I'll let that rise over here. And this is just a little piece that was extra, so I am just going to twist it around my finger like that and make a tiny little roll, but it'll poof up a little bit, so it'll be nice. A little roll when it's done. Anyway, they're all gonna sit here for an hour, rise one more time, then I'll put the egg wash, and then I'll put it in the oven to bake. The challah has been sitting for quite a while now, actually, and as you can see, it has fluffed up a bit. It's risen and is ready to go. So before we put it in the oven, we put an egg wash on it, which I actually have to go here for just 1 second over to the sink because I need to add a little bit of water to my egg. Just a little bit. I probably could put a little more in there, but whatever. This is the cholesterol-free egg that I use. And I add a little egg to it. Harry, do you want to help me with putting the egg wash on?
I guess.
Harry, this is Harry. And he's my little guy. Here, you want to hold it? And you just paint it on. You just paint it on. You can just paint it around the challah. There you go. And the egg wash goes all over the challah so that when it is in the oven, it get a nice brown, crusty outside. That's good. And you just paint all the different pieces. And once all the painting is done,
oops,
that's okay. It's gonna rise a little bit anyway when it bakes. It's gonna naturally rise up more. You'll see when it's finished that it'll be even fluffier again. And then we can choose, here's some sesame seeds. We can put some sesame seeds on whichever ones we wanna do, and a few will be plain. This is the egg wash. Try and get it all the way around. There you go. Sometimes I just try and follow the different strands. This one is a very pretty challah today. That one came out nicely. So what I do sometimes is I just try and paint each strand so that I know I have gotten everything. Or just go back and forth, whichever way. You're the artist in this, so it doesn't matter. And it's okay if you miss some spaces too. But every recipe I have for bread calls for this egg wash, so. Thank you very much. And then you can choose which one you want to put the sesame seeds on. Here, leave a couple empty. Whichever ones you want is fine.
This one. How many seeds am I putting on?
Whatever you like. I just dump it over it.
Is that two?
Only one? Well, I usually put more than that, but you can put whatever you like. We like the sesame seeds.
Okay.
Which other one you want to put it on? How about one more?
This one?
Okay. All over the place. And then that's it? No more? Okay. And then we'll put it in the oven and we'll let it be in a 350-degree oven for, thank you, Harry, for 35 minutes or so. And it should be done. Thanks. After 35 minutes approximately, this is what they look like. I'll remove them from the oven and put them onto a cooling rack. And this is what the final product looks like. There are the challahs. And you can see the beautiful little rolls that were made in that tiny roll. And you can use your creativity, right, Tyler?
Yep.
And Tyler is displaying the challah for all of you. Anyway, enjoy.